Stephanie White occupies a distinctive position within the realm of professional sports. As a successful WNBA coach, with a career record of 92 of 56, she was appointed 3 months ago to lead the Indiana Fever, where she will oversee a cadre of all-stars, including DeWanna Bonner, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell, in addition to three-time WNBA champion Natasha Howard. In her professional endeavors beyond the Fever, she serves as a basketball analyst for ESPN, providing commentary on both men's and women's college basketball, as well as the NBA. Recently, she engaged in an in-depth discussion with me on the Sports Media Podcast, wherein she explored the dual responsibilities of her roles in broadcasting and coaching the Fever. Unquestionably, Caitlin Clark transcends the designation of an all-star player. She stands as the most renowned women's basketball player in the United States and ranks among the most recognized basketball players nationwide, irrespective of gender. How do you address, and I do not intend this disparagingly, the tumult surrounding her? Primarily, I believe that she is exceptional at managing everything. She embodies remarkable humility and possesses an awareness of the broader context of her celebrity, which is paramount. Additionally, being a Midwesterner, she remains true to herself, striving to lead her life authentically. In many ways, she parallels a contemporary version of Taylor Swift. From my viewpoint, as well as that of our staff and organization, our focus is on how we can assist her in navigating these challenges. How can we support her in safeguarding her tranquility? Recognizing the magnitude of the situation is essential, especially with the heightened levels of social media presence and fan interactions. Our aim is to serve as a resource and to help maintain her well-being. She is an extraordinary individual. While I refer to her as a kid, she is undoubtedly a young woman of remarkable talent and character. Her work ethic is exemplary. There is a reason she has achieved her current status as a player. She manages these pressures with a level of grace and composure that most individuals at the age of 23 would find challenging. From a coaching standpoint, it is imperative to prioritize the essential elements. We aim to assist her in preserving her peace while facilitating her ongoing development on the basketball court. We remind our players that at times it is necessary to reduce distractions and concentrate on our responsibilities. Our goal is to assemble the best team and deliver the highest quality of performance that we are capable of achieving. I commend our front office and management, particularly COO Amber Cox and General Manager Kelly Krauskopf, for their exceptional efforts in free agency. As coaches, we will uphold a high standard of transparency in our communications. We are committed to addressing any significant issues directly. Effective communication will be of paramount importance. You are coaching at the highest levels of your sport, but you have also attained a pinnacle position as a sports broadcaster with ESPN. In what ways do these two roles mutually benefit one another? I aspire for both roles to assist the audience and to support my teams. As coaches, we often develop a narrow focus on the daily intricacies that characterize our environment. In contrast, as a broadcaster, one acquires a broader perspective. Coaches tend to concentrate excessively on the limitations of players, whereas broadcasters emphasize their capabilities. I believe this awareness enhances my effectiveness as a coach and ideally makes me a more competent broadcaster. What was your path into broadcasting? I was fortunate. I did not pursue broadcast journalism during my college education. Instead, I studied aviation for 2 years, which influenced my decision to attend Purdue. Later, I switched to general communications. While living in Chicago as an assistant coach for the Chicago Sky, a broadcaster who covered Sky games, Eric Collins, referred me to executives Tim Sutton and Leon Schweier at the nascent Big Ten Network. I had an opportunity to converse with them and participated in a brief audition. They offered me 5 or 6 games to assess my performance, which ultimately expanded into 50 events during that initial year. I have continued in this field ever since. The Fever are currently recognized as one of the top 4 teams, according to betting odds, for securing the WNBA championship. Is it realistic to consider this team a potential title contender in 2025? I believe so, at least on paper. Our objective was to recruit players who could enhance our core trio. I did not anticipate the depth we successfully established in year 1. This season, we have 4 additional games compared to last year in the same period, with no Olympic hiatus. It is imperative to establish a rotation. During my 2 years in Connecticut, finding a rotation proved challenging. Our starters frequently logged substantial minutes, and at times, particularly during fourth quarters and toward the end of the season, it was evident that our efficiency declined. Here, we possess a multitude of impressive offensive assets that must be strategically positioned for optimal success. However, it is imperative that we also enhance our defensive performance. So, do I consider us potential title contenders? Certainly. Do I believe that everything will seamlessly align by May? No. This process will necessitate time. There exists an element of fortuity in remaining healthy and reaching peak performance at the appropriate moment. I am profoundly enthusiastic about the players we have acquired, as they are well suited to our team environment. They exemplify positive cultural values and comprehend the importance of personal sacrifice for the advancement of the collective team. They possess a championship caliber background. Frequently, exceptional players exhibit significant development from their inaugural season to their second year. In the WNBA context, this often translates to enhanced physical strength. What is a realistic expectation for Caitlin's progression from year 1 to year 2? Primarily, she has become stronger. She has acquired significant self-awareness, recognizing early on that she requires greater physical robustness to withstand the rigors of the game. She has excelled in the weight room, concentrating on her strength, including maintaining a low center of gravity and time under tension, among other considerations. The next objective is to improve her efficiency, such as reducing turnovers and increasing field goal percentages. I recall participating in a press conference during the midpoint of the last season and being queried about Caitlin Clark and Indiana. I advised everyone to please remain calm. They would ultimately figure it out. They needed to learn how to collaborate effectively. She was abruptly thrust into this competitive environment, yet she managed to adapt, and she did. She will encounter a variety of defensive schemes and matchups. The focus is on enhancing her efficiency, which includes refining her angles of attack, engaging with contact rather than avoiding it, navigating past defenders, varying her dribbling patterns, optimizing her footwork, and executing different finishing techniques around the basket. For us as coaches, it is essential to transition her from off-ball situations more frequently to prevent fatigue during games. We are also emphasizing her development as a defensive player, putting her skills to the test. When facing a proficient offensive player, the strategy is to challenge them defensively and apply pressure. Our coaching staff will explore innovative approaches to maximize her capabilities and skills. What style of play do you envision for the Fever this year? I believe our players have a natural propensity to play at an accelerated pace. Analyzing Indiana's performance from the previous year, they ranked at the top of the league in both pace and offensive efficiency. Our goal is to build upon that momentum. We aim to ensure that we have a greater array of options to distribute the ball, making it increasingly challenging for opponents to defend our primary three players. I believe that Alia Boston likely experienced greater space last year than at any previous point in her career, and I anticipate that she will encounter even more this year. The same applies to Kelsey Mitchell. Caitlin not only led the league in assists, but also established numerous assist records, alongside several scoring benchmarks. However, she now possesses additional options. Our objective is to enhance our versatility. Everyone is prepared for our initial and secondary actions. Thus, we must exercise patience to reach the third and fourth actions. An area for improvement lies in our capacity to score from cuts with this roster. We can implement substantial off-ball screening activities given our current lineup. I believe we can create mismatches and aim to exploit them more effectively. Our team exhibits a high level of basketball intelligence. The primary challenge for this group is to elevate our ranking from 11th or 12th in defensive performance to a more favorable position in the middle of the pack. There will be occasions when our shooting does not meet expectations, and we may struggle offensively. The league features many formidable defensive teams and players who can create discomfort for us. Therefore, it is imperative that we bolster our defensive capabilities. However, I am optimistic about this endeavor.